Who's the truth? The issues. On Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The issues. Don't just react. Understand.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Arpeon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People Television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, please discuss.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before. To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector, from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations, and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy. Awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
Everybody knows it doesn't sound cool when it's about tragedy, and it doesn't sound good. But you know, everybody likes to say, it demands that we bring it on the show today. It's no longer news that the Nigerian Football Federation has expressed a very saddened one, a shock and sadness about the death of Mr. Sunday Ndidi, father of Wilfred Ndidi, the captain of the senior national team, Super Eagles keeper, that's the best word to say. But that happened in an automobile accident, and then this is not a good news. We've seen the message from the NFF General Secretary, Dr. Mohamed Sanusi, in a statement on Tuesday that reads, "This is a very sad one. The player just gave his best to the nation at the African Cup of Nations concluded not long, where he finished with a bronze medal. He had returned to Turkey with great motivation and very high hopes of helping the club side win silverware this season and also help the Super Eagles reach the new high they attained for themselves." And this statement still reads that we are really shocked at the moment. I cannot say much, but we earnestly pray for the repose of the soul of Mr. Sunday Ndidi and pray that the Almighty God will comfort our team captain, his siblings, his relations, and also indeed all those who he has left behind. VOP FM Lagos reported that Mr. Sunday Ndidi, a retired military officer, was reportedly involved in an accident in Umunede, Delta State, and was confirmed dead after being rushed to the hospital in Agbo, also in Delta State. Indeed, the club side, Besiktas, confirmed the incident on Tuesday, and the read saying, "We are deeply saddened to learn of the tragic passing of our football Wilfred Ndidi's father and then his esteemed relation, Sunday Ndidi, in a fatal accident." And also, not just that statement, that was released on X, formerly known as Twitter. And another one reads from the EFL South Championship side, Leicester City. Good one to see that they're also writing saying, Ndidi, we are in support of you, and also you spend a lot of time with us. And the message also read, "We are sending our love and deepest condolences at a time of immense sadness. We are with you." That's the message coming from the Leicester side. Also, Ndidi took to his Instagram to express his grief. This one got me emotional. I felt like crying like a baby. And it reads, feel like you have on your screen already. You call me this morning with excitement in your voice. Now, goodbye, they tell me. What about the things we talked about? So we know we'll talk again. Now, only memories. You have that. And when I was saying, even when I scored my first goal for the national team, I do the papillo dance for you, but you just go like that. That's about Wilfred Ndidi, and this doesn't sound so good. And that's a developing story. Let's bring this one to you again. NSC also are involved in this. The developing story as well, connected to that very one. The National Sports Commission, NSC, and the Federal Government of Nigeria, as you can say, Nigerian Football Federation as well, have expressed our deepest condolences to the captain. And we have the message that reads from the Director General of NSC, Honorable Bukola Olapade, who expressed shock over the news. And he said, "This is a sad moment for Nigerian football and has urged the entire family, to the Ndidi family, in their prayers in this difficult time. On behalf of the chairman of the NSC, Madam Chelle Diko, and the Nigerian sports family, I want to express our heartfelt condolences to Wilfred Ndidi and his family for the unfortunate loss." So the DJ of NSC, talk about Director General, said, "I know of a fact how close Ndidi is to his father and the role the man has played with the success of his story under the sun. Ndidi has been a patriotic servant for our great nation, Nigeria, playing for the Super Eagles and also representing Nigeria in a very good light, playing club football abroad, and all of these are product of the kind of upbringing he had from his parents. Honorable Lokpade also added that the National Sports Commission will work closely with the NFF in very possible capacity to render any form of assistance to the Ndidi family. Meanwhile, NFF General Secretary Dr. Mohamed Sanusi said, "This is sad news. The player gives all, and then we are also with him. But this is a tragic moment, and then cut to the bands, we do this for the Ndidi family. It doesn't sound good to be talked about, but it's just one of those things. One thing to say, it's inevitable. It comes in a moment. It just comes. It's like something that goes round. So this just happened to hit the Ndidi family. And then from all of us here, VOP FM Sports Crew, VOP TV Sports Crew, just wait forward. We are also sending our deepest condolences to the family of Ndidi. And then this one we do for them. Rest in peace is all we can say. So we get into Talk Point quickly again. Welcome to the Sports Republic show right here on TV. This is Lagos, Nigeria. Let's talk about what's really trending out there. The story of Ndidi doesn't sound good to talk about, but, you know, we just have to bring that to you. And we have this news that's been trending on social media. Everybody knows. If you've seen it, we would have also brought you a clip about that very one, where one man is on the story talking about Bassey. Super Eagles defender Bassey has been in the spotlight for his performances on the pitch, so you can say on and off the pitch in the family matter, and also it's been talked about. His father, Kingsley Ikena Ogulumba, has publicly opened up about being separated from Bassey and his brother for nearly 18 years, making an emotional plea for reconciliation. Yes, that one you have on your screen, that's the first. And Bassey had a standout African Cup of Nations campaign in Morocco, earning the sporting tournament best 11 and helping Nigeria secure the bronze medal. Yet, his personal life has now captured attention as his father recounts years of separation and longing. Kingsley Ogelumba revealed that the origin of the family split in a TikTok interview, explaining that disagreement with Bassey's mother led to him being completely cut off from his children. The family had briefly lived together in London, but marital issues and bitterness prevented further contact. Ogelumba told Helen Ati on an interview saying on YouTube, Bassey, born in Italy, chose to carry his mother's surname when he began his professional career, citing her sacrifices as his reason. Bassey in 2020, just a reminder, he said something when he was signing a contract with Rangers. He said, "If I got a chance to put my name on the back of a shirt, I wanted it to be my mom's name, my way of saying thank you, mommy." Kingsley, who expressed deep regret over the years of separation, he stated that he attempted to reconcile and even sought legal intervention in London, but circumstances including expired papers and unemployment forced him back to Italy. Despite these obstacles, Ogelumba continued to pursue a contact with his sons. Ogelumba attempts recognition with Bassey in one notable effort. Kingsley traveled to Leicester City to see Calvin during his time at the club. The Nigerian-born Anambra-born man said he was not seeking fame or financial gain, but merely wanted to reconnect with his children. In the words of Bassey's father, he said, when he finally reached Calvin, the encounter was tense. He got upset. He told me to say what I had to say and then leave. He also tried to contact Calvin Bassey during the Nations Cup in Ivory Coast at the time it was played, but communication remained limited. The only previous contact with the children's mother occurred 10 years ago regarding their Nigerian passport. Then Bassey kept silent about his father's reunion. He has not publicly addressed this issue, and he still remains on the low, like people say, low key. But according to a transfer market, the Fulham defender has become a regular in the Super Eagles since 2022, making 43 appearances across the World Cup qualifiers, AFCON tournament, and also friendlies. He has won AFCON, dependable side, also the bronze medal for the Super Eagles side. So I think the last one, he was just on the final shows, and this time around, became third. But before we talk about something else, let's just have a brief look into the talk about Calvin Bassey. One thing is good to be talked about. It's a family issue, people know, but do we want to talk about this? Of course, yes, we should be talking about it. In as much as I would have loved to just keep it on the pen side, we still have to reiterate some issues concerning this. It's family issues. When you watch that interview, you listen to the man, At a point, he was crying. I think that was really what I was saying this morning when I woke this morning after morning prayers, and I was watching that video closely. And I said to myself, what could be going on in this man's mind? I understand the part where your kids have been off from you. And he said the only time the wife reached out to him, talking about Calvin Bassey's father, was when she needed the Nigerian passport. So as a father, he said, if there's anything I want to say on social media, I should be very careful. But even if I'm that so bad, in quotes, to say, not to my kids. That's about Gelumba, the father of Calvin Bassey. But this is very, very clear that the mother has actually, what's the word? The kids have the backing of the mom. I understand. The mother's love cannot be taken off. It can't be separated. That's why you see most players, they're always putting their mom on the fence. At the edge, first of all. No, the dad's at the edge. The dad's at the edge, then the mom at the first line. Now, when you look at this scenario, you understand the likes of Bellingham, Kylian Mbappe, all of these key players, they're always putting their mom first. Not because of issues. Even Lamine Yamal is also in the news about that. But on Calvin Bassey's talk, people are saying on social media, let's even get to that part. Some are saying the reason why Calvin Bassey's father wants his son back is the fact that his son is now a global player, a global star, a big player. The world knows him. But this man is coming to say, of course not. That's not the reason. He admitted, I had an issue with their mom. Now, it would interest you to know that all the kids, all of Calvin Bassey's brothers were born in Italy. I think just one. Is it Michael? I think the last one was born in Ireland. So he said, I left London when I had issues with my papers, and then I had to go back to Italy because I've spent so many years in Italy. So from Italy, he moves to Italy to Nigeria, so the shows keep going on like that. But for the mom, who has that eligibility of having a very good balance in London, currently, the man is saying, I still don't know the whereabouts of my wife. That I'm having issues with my wife doesn't really mean it should affect my kids. But it's clearly stated that the kids, if not for anyone, Calvin Bassey is so much in love with the mom. And I would not take that for granted because I understand the mother's love for their kids. But you know one thing again he said? He said when I went to Leicester, when he was playing for Leicester, I'm talking about Ogilvy, the father of Calvin Bassey. He said when I got to Leicester, I went straight to the camp. I call him big name. That's the name he calls his son, but something big. That's the name he calls him from birth. And then he said the receptionist said words to me and he said, I am Calvin Bassey's father. So they made provision for him to be able to say Calvin Bassey. And Calvin Bassey said, we can't talk now, Daddy. Let's meet at home. This is my address. And he went to meet his son back home in Leicester. That's in London as well. When he got there, he said Calvin Bassey was cool to him. And all of a sudden, he got a call from his mom. And Calvin Bassey changed his mood drastically and said, you have to leave now. We can't do this talking. So if you look at the scenario, you understand there's a family issues. And the man is saying, for the fact I'm having an issue with my wife, doesn't really say that I'm not loving my kids. He said the only one that reached out to me is the first son. He calls me all the time and said, Daddy, I think he said the last time he called me was when he had a kid, second child, and said, Daddy, I have a son now. So the relationship is more like the father to the first. But this man in question, we're talking about a Gilumba, wants a reunion and is pleading for the nation, social media rants and the rest of that they should just calm down. All you can do for me is to make sure that I have that leverage to have a combination and a communication with my son. And that's all the same. But we are yet to see Calvin Bassey officially or publicly rather say something about the scenario. And then the one he did in 2020 sends a long message because Calvin Bassey came out to say that if I am opportune to put a name at my jersey, it would be who? My mom. All right, so it's just what it is. We go off that one and give you a story more. So let's talk about something else. Let's just get into the Chelle story. Super Eagles man is in the news while we still wait for all of the stories to be calm. So Ndidi's story is a tragedy hitting Nigerian football, and then Calvin Bassey's story is also a family affair. We don't really want to talk deep about it. And also, I think Ogilvy, also the father, doesn't want to talk so deep about that conversation. Now, let's talk about Eric Chelle. He's in the story. Eric Chelle is a man everybody wants to stay. We want to see him stay back with the national team. But will he be staying back with Nigeria national team? Time tells. We still see that offer from Tunisia. $100,000 is on the radar for the Franco-Malian born in Ivory Coast. The man you have on your screen is on the verge of possibly might be leaving the Super Eagles, but we see how it goes. But the Director General of the National Sports Commission, NSC, Bukola Olokpade, has firmly dismissed widespread speculation linking Super Eagles head coach Eric Chelle with a move away from Nigeria. Olopade stated Eric Chelle is not going anywhere, addressing reported interest from Tunisia, Gabon, and Angola, respectively, following Nigerian bronze medal finish at the AFCON. He argued that the quality of Nigerian players, calling them the right equipment, is a key advantage that Eric Chelle wouldn't find elsewhere. Okay, Olopade revealed he recently hosted a coach for dinner, and that high-level discussion are on the way to resolve his contract situation. Now, let's look into the key points, the key facts about the Super Eagles Gaffer stay. Number one, the statement is a strong one. Public attempt to quell uncertainty and project stability around the national team technical leadership. Number two, it frames Nigeria's players pool as a unique asset that makes the coaching role more desirable than positions in other national teams. Number three, the relationship and the revelation of a personal diplomacy. A dinner meeting suggests an informal, collaborative approach to managing the coach situation alongside formal negotiation. And number four, it indirectly addresses Chelle's contract status, confirming ongoing talks and implying a desire to retain him beyond the current term. Number five, the intervention from the NSC DG rather than the NFF highlights the multi-layered governance of Nigerian football and effort to present a unified front. The NSC assertive stance aims to secure continuity for the Super Eagles by dispelling exit rumors and signaling commitment to retain the current Super Eagles coach. You know, this is I don't know, it's one of the weirdest stories I've ever heard. Yes, truth be told, I'm not trying to exaggerate it, but I'm just trying to say the way it is. What's the word? When Eric Chelle emerged to be the coach of the senior national team of Nigeria, I could read from him, I could look into his eyes, I could see the love, the passion, the resilience. He was so determined to do the job for Nigeria. And I looked at Eric Chelle and I said, yes, this man wants to manage the Super Eagles because he knows the quality and the talent we have. Even though sometimes I would say we don't even know what we have. So are we losing it drastically every day? You can see the measures, it's been out there, it's clear. With all due respect, I say to the national team. Now, Eric Chelle is one man everybody should be looking at. The reason why we talk about Eric Chelle is because this contract situation is uncertain. And I think you should be thinking twice, because if a side like the Tunisian side wants you to manage them, if you look at a CV, what's some called resume, you would understand that if you manage a World Cup winning side or a World Cup participating team, it gives you an edge, not just as a Met coach, but an African coach. Now, it's not all that goes through that phase that comes out, excited, but 100,000 US dollar. You can't compare to one who earns 55,000 US dollar or thereabouts. And on the course of that story, we still owe this man. So there's no way you want to talk about Nigeria, Angola, Gabon, Tunisia. If you ask me, quality-wise, I would do Nigeria. But is there a financial thing, or is it a passion? You know, one thing is inevitable. We know passion is cool. Passion is very nice. But what people do these days, passion is being abused. That I'm liking what I do doesn't really mean you don't have to pay me well. I'm so sorry. You have to pay me well. Now, money drives passion. That's the word. Money drives passion. So if we want to keep Eric Chelle, we need to make him happy. I don't know the kind of a contract he has with the national team. For Eric Chelle not to have also said a lot during his time at the club, at the countryside, at the Nations Cup, where he was old, and he was still quiet. And now we are talking about losing Eric Chelle. What he has brought to the team is one thing I would have thought that the NFL would have just run with all immense movement to give him a new contract or possibly pay him his debt and renew his contract, negotiation-wise. But now we have a coach who has done well with the national team, who has transitioned us out to a playing side, who has brought dominance, who has made us understand that yes, Super Eagles are three-time champions, who have brought that scare factor again to the national team. And we are just messing around the conversation. Now, what about the connection with the NSC and the NFF? I really don't want to talk about this, but I just have to say it. They get us confused sometimes, you know. We had Eric Chelle, the NSC came out and said, yes, our Super Eagles coach, Madam Shehu Diko, His Excellency. We had Ibrahim Musukuzo, also the NFF president. They said, this is our coach. When the payment time came, the NSC said what we did was just to bring the coach to the NFF. We are not in charge of the payment. It's about the NFF paying. But sometimes we hear the NSC also in connection with the coach who is managing the team that's been run under the NFF. So who's been confused here? Whose support do you believe? It's a whole lot to be talked about because right now it's quite confusing. A lot of Nigerians will be out there questioning who is Eric Chelle. Does it work with the NFF or the NSC? Now, the name is big, National Sports Commission. With the word sports come to your mind, you have to understand. It means the NFF have to come below because it's a sports governing body. And when Malam Shehu Diko got into this job, I was one of those people who celebrated him with all happiness. But with what we are saying now, when the coach is being old, sometimes the NSC goes off the shores and then leave it for the NFF. So whose report should we believe right now? We have who talking? Honorable Lapade, he works for the NSC, he's a DJ to the NSC, not the NFF. We have a Guavo technical advisor. We have Ibrahim Musoko. So it's quite confusing. So who should Eric Chelle be talking to? For the fact that we're having the NSC, the NG, or the DG rather, having words with the coach, it means slightly that the NFF are just so below par. If it's a golf word, I would have used under par. We shouldn't be doing this. We should be finding a way. I think the way is try to fine-tune your national team. After what we did see at the Nations Cup, we said, yes, we are good to go. We have a team. Now the world can see that we wish we made it to the World Cup. No pressure on Eric Chelle. Why is he on this? We should not be talking about Eric Chelle. We should be talking about renewing the Franco-Malian's contract. Give him a new contract, and then he can find a way to fine-tune the team. The Nations Cup next is coming. Now, for a nation that knows this very well, don't get me wrong, for a nation that understands how sports is being run, you would understand that we should put things in place. I would have said, there's no need to go back to the drawing board because that drawing board doesn't work again. Do you understand? Drawing board is not the work. Even we never get bored with the draw, so there's no need. But this man knows what he wants. This man loved the national team. This man loved the Super Eagles. This man is a man that we've seen who has given his all, like within a short time. For the fact that he was owed 2 to 3 months' salary, he wasn't talking. And we're trying to take advantage of that one. Now, we have to wait until something happens. It's more like you're waiting till something happens before you say, God, thank you. It's more like that. We don't have to wait till something or national side wants the coach before we can now make him. See, you need to understand, you need to make the coach happy. When he's on the job and he's doing the work and he's seeing that everything is deliberately going on well for him with the support of the NSC and also the NFF, then why not? The Franco-Malian have all we want. So why are we talking about Eric Chelle? Why? Eric Chelle should not be in the news. Eric Chelle's news should be, yes, the Franco-Malian's contract is renewed, and that works. And by that point, we say, yes, they've done so well. So please, if it's me now, I'm pleading, let's find a way around this to organize our football, the biggest sports, and then make sure the Franco-Malian stays. Else, I think Eric Chelle might not be sleeping well because $100,000 every month might not be big, but can we afford it? Actually, yes, we can. Super Eagles can afford it. Nigeria can afford it, but we don't want to bring the money come out. Will they put it somewhere? See, this NFF matter, I know why they invest for them. If we look them, you don't ever hear say NFF did it. You don't hear them before. Say did the ONFF. I never hear them before. They find news that they check and not say. I won't check them for 100 years and not see that day. And they find story will tell me say NFF did they owe them. Even their cleaner for their office, I never hear say they owe them. That's the body that governs Nigerian football. I see they talk every time. NFF don't be anybody papa own. It's owned by the federation. We need to put things right and put some sad news to bury. But let's talk about something. I've been making what's the word? I've been having fun with the Moroccan national team. You know, without due respect to the team, but I said it. I have like 4 or 5 towels back home, and I say if now they hungry, them may not give me chance. Might go find towel. When they call towel, I say I'm not give them. I get like blast now 2 white go inside, 3 red inside with the change jam. So if blast that 3 red towel where I get for us, I can't go give Morocco people. You understand? Now we see the hungry me. They talk as they do me because I feel like they need toil. I'm telling you, Morocco people now toil they hungry them. We'll tell them the story that's surrounding the Morocco people because right now the body governing the game is doing something very, very wrong. My opinion, anyways. Free to talk, right? CAF is being a little bit biased, if not fully biased. And you know one thing I do? I respect Patrice Motsepe, the CAF president, the South African. I have this maximum respect for the man, but I feel like I'm losing it drastically every day just as it unfolds. Reasons are not far from me. Reasons are not far-fetched. Reasons are because one reason is the fact that they are trying to make everything work well for Morocco people or the Moroccan people. Now, let's talk about this one. It's more like Mendy, Wabali's style saga. And I'll be quoting Safari. So you understand where I'm coming from. You understand the reason why I'm saying we need to give them Torre. Now, Torre don't agree them. Made it get, and wait, I know they get and told me they clean their body and don't baffle. And they get and told me they until they wipe their tears. I know they like, see, me, I know they like to talk, say God did for football, but it be like say God can't see day, so because God of soccer, just see day inside. Because normally, if to say Senegal not win Nations Cup, the reverse would have been different right now. It would have been, the reverse would have been the case. But what's to say, the Confederation of African Football is considering a controversial new rule that could affect goalkeepers across the continent following the storm over the use of Charles at the recent African Cup of Nations. The issue first came into focus during Nigeria's semi-final against Morocco when Super Eagles goalkeeper Stanley Wabali was repeatedly distracted by ball boys and the stewards. You have on your screen some scenarios out there you can see. Now, his towel, which he used to dry his gloves in the rain, was constantly taken off, much to the frustration and that of the Nigerian team. Now, what seems like an isolated incident later turned into a full-blown controversy in the final, again involving the host, Senegal goalkeeper Ndidi, who was the best keeper in the world 5 years ago, was subjected to a similar treatment with Moroccan ball boys, stewards, and even players repeatedly interfering with his towels. Now, one such moment involved African Footballer of the Year, Akrefa Kemi, who also was caught on cameras. A footage was out there taking Mendy's towel. Now, Senegal, however, were the better side. They were prepared this time around. The reserve goalkeeper, I think his name is Yevan Diouf. Yes, Yevan Diouf, I recall. He later admitted that the team had learned from what happened to Wabali in the semi-final. He volunteered to stand near Mendy's goal to protect his teammates' towel. Do you understand? I will explain this so you can get me right. Now, that decision, though, only made matters worse because Diouf was chased around the pitch by stewards of Morocco and also ball boys, and that was roughly an incident that we don't want to talk about. It was roughly dragged away, and that created more ugly scenes. Now, like I say, in the end, Senegal went on to win the title in a dramatic fashion, although the chaotic scene could still lead to sanctions for Teranga Lions, the supporters and the head coach, Pape Chelle, and the Senegal Football Federation. Many observers expected CAF to take firm action against the behavior of ball boys and stewards. Instead, the governing body that governs African football, CAF, appears to be considering a very different solution. Now, CAF considers banning towels from goalkeepers rather than focusing on the conduct of those around the pitch. CAF is now reportedly looking at stopping goalkeepers from owing and using towels during matches. Speaking to report, the president of the CAF Referees Committee, Olivia Safari, that's the name, he addressed the issue on Monday. And I talk and say, this story will not go to the talker like this. You know what it is? I'm telling you. See, I'm telling you what it is. If we try to find a Safari, I could go meet my tailor, me, Benner for me, because not be this one at the talk. If this man, I'm going to read to you so you understand. I'm going to say to you so you understand the statement from Olivia Safari, because it's more like after all is said and done, more is said than done. I don't understand the connection with CAF and Morocco. I'm yet to understand. Now, it's that shameful that recently we've learned that the 2030 World Cup might not be hosted in Morocco, might not be done in Casablanca. I don't care about Rabat, Marrakech, or the face of the place. It might be Santiago Bernabeu. But Safari said, this is a problem of the organizers. This is a problem the organizers must take into account in future competitions. A towel is not equipment for a player or a goalkeeper. When a goalkeeper carries a towel, it must be done in a very sporting and fair play manner. As soon as they start shouting or influencing the game, I think the towel should be removed from the playing area. Goalkeepers around the world commonly use towels to dry their gloves and wipe themselves during games. However, CAF is now believed to be considering banning their use of towels in African competition, and they are saying if this continue to cause disturbances. Safari's comment suggests that maybe they are also having a conversation with the Moroccan side, because he said he will be sympathetic to the action of the stewards who confronted Wabali and Mendy and also Diouf during the tournament. Now, if you look at this scenario, you understand that everything doesn't look well. Any official directive is expected to come soon, with the next African Nations Cup just over a year away. That will be the 14th edition of the tournament, which will be jointly hosted Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya. But let me talk about this. Why this is a sad one is I'm expecting, or I rather expected something very great from the CAF body. But what they are doing now shows the incompetence of CAF, lack of transparency, corruption of a high level. Now, the world is vividly watching. That's what they don't even understand. It's that bad that Bob, okay, now, Safari, president of the ref committee, is now saying he might be sympathetic to the ball boys and the stewards who had this confrontation with Mabale and Mendy. Now, do you know what it means for Senegal to win the Nations Cup on away land, or not on home soil, away from home? They knew the Moroccan. See, if we start talking about what happened in the last Nations Cup, you will understand that everything went so wrong. It wasn't my fault. I said I will give them 4/10. No reason for 10/10. Not even 5 would work for me. Because if you look at what Morocco have done, or Moroccan people have done, the officiating was so poor. It was that so poor to a high level that even the world could see it. It was clear that the Moroccan side wanted to win this one by all of the means. Any which way now win, now they won't do. Because they lost the WAFCON to the Super Falcons. They found their way around the Super Eagles, and they went on to the final and felt like they would lift it. 1976, that's the story. That's the last time they won the Nations Cup. I wasn't even born then. 1976, a long time ago. And if care is not taken on this shows, they might never win the Nations Cup, because with the way it's going, they are trying to turn football the other way. And my annoyance on the show this morning, depending on where you're watching from, is the fact that the CAF is also making it like a pampered story. You can't be doing this for Morocco and then you're looking elsewhere. They said the Algerians were fined. I wait for the Senegal scenario. What is wrong with them also fining the Moroccans? They say the game is fair play. Those small boys, those see, when I watched, I think it was Nigeria, Morocco, yes. Yes, Saibari, he got substituted. He went behind the goalkeeper. Saibari of PSV, if you know him, very quality player. I respect him a lot. But since that day, my respect just faint. I don't get respect for him again. Because he was standing out. He was stopping the steward from giving Stanley Wabale, the Super Eagles goalkeeper, a towel. Now he was blocking. Come and say, go like this, go like this. Go. So that scenario was looking so bad because this keeper needs this. Now, for CAF to say they want to ban it on AFCON tournament, let's be factual. The biggest, I think I have it somewhere on my mobile, let me say, I think the biggest of them all, talking about club football and national team football and country-wide football, is the Premier League. Now, the Premier League have a goalkeeper who mans the post for Everton. His name is Jordan Pickford. He has this towel most of the time. When you see him, he keeps it by the side of the post, of his goal post. So sometimes, these gloves get wet, water-wise, or anyway, and you see them using the towel to clean the glove. When throwing are being done, this is about the game, talking about people that won't understand it well, not the African football they talk. Brentford, Kayode of Brentford, the right back, when he wants to make a throw, you see the fans, it happens at Ellen Road at Leeds United as well. The fans, the ball boys, they'll give them towel. When they carry towel, take towel like this, use and clean. Did you see how they used to clean the game? Because that thing, you get grip. And they use the towel to clean, and they make a throw. So why are we not seeing the FA of the British, who even understand the game more than African football does, banning that? Udinese, Madiko Koyi, the friend of the towel. Top flight football, Spanish league. We see goalkeepers who comes in to the pitch with their towel. So why are we going to have this one just to be pampered, just to suit Moroccan people? Why? So if you look at the scenario, you understand that they are doing it wrong. This story, the sweet calf, just the bend one side. I talk and before I go talking again. Say road bend. You know me say you go bend waka put. Just put things right. When it's white, it's white. When it's black, it's black. It's okay for people to, it's normal. Having a conversation with our face just behind the scene today, and I was saying, yeah, it's good. Like, give them everything to talk. It's sweet. You know, so I made it because it's an assignment. It be like work, no pay. Do you understand the job? Now, what can they do? Person don't give you assignment, just they talk. And the person they sleep with, but just they talk the matter. Only you, they understand. Work, no pay. That's what CAF is doing. Who is paying them this? If Patrice Musepe is not trying to rob back, you don't see where person they talk about person, they say, you say don't have to hear, but they don't say just they try to keep the friendship. You go to hear now. It doesn't make any, it doesn't hold water. Because at the end of the day, if CAF does not turn this thing around, our football will keep going down. Not even Nigeria now. I'm talking about CAF, the body that governs the game. Morocco, they used to give us waiting to talk about. Give me waiting to talk about positively. Maybe you get assignment, maybe on the sleepwear, so that you get sleepless night. Maybe on the, you know, he works. But what CAF is doing now is a very, very bad one. But let's leave that one and tell them more. What's really going on? Victor Osimhen has been on the news. Still, Bukola Olakpade. I'm just going to try to, you know, brief this story so you can understand. There has been this disagreement. Sunday Olise, Super Eagles coach, former coach, and also you can say former player as well. He won the Nations Cup back in 1994. For those who watched that time, never was born then though, but you know, YouTube did justice to that. You know, talking about that very man, he has said a lot about the Nations Cup, and he said one of the reasons why the Super Eagles failed to win it this time around or to go far was what Victor Osimhen did. But one man on the show today, the Director General of Nigerian Sports Commission, NSC, Bukola Olakpade, he's more like he's still in the show today. He said he would not go with Sunday Olise's comments. And then he said, I disagree with Sunday Olise on many of his comments, including his indictment on Osimhen and others. Our superstars of yesterday deserve respect, but they must also take their place as mentors to the younger generation, not integrate them. You have it on your screen. NSC fires back at Sunday Olise, hails Victor Osimhen as Nigeria's second biggest brand after the Super Eagles. Well, I like to talk about key points. Let me talk about the key points. Number one is this. The response frames the criticism as counterproductive, advocating for support and mentorship for the current generation of athletes. Number two, it elevates Osimhen's status beyond his on-field performance to the national brand asset, highlighting its commercial and symbolic value. Number three, the comment underscores an ongoing generational tension between Nigeria football legends and active players regarding standard and public conduct. Number four, by public and ranking national sport brand, it officially acknowledges the massive commercial and popular appeal of the Super Eagles and Victor Osimhen. See, let's even say it. Some people are, I don't know the word, this is one of the reasons why they say Victor Osimhen is over-pampered. Yeah. This is one of the reasons why people come out to say Victor Osimhen, we cannot do without Osimhen. This is one of the reasons why people say Osimhen is Nigeria's biggest player. But I feel like people like Sunday Olise is not loved. You know, the truth of the matter is that people who are blunt, when I mean blunt, respect hierarchy. Blunt in the sense of you say the way it is, and because you're on top, you know he's saying it right. You know, not like you don't even know, but because you understand this person wants things to be right, and you want all of this to come from you. So what do? Sunday Olise, if you ask me, he should be working with the NFF. They are not friends with Sunday Olise. Why? Because he says things bluntly. He's so respectful. He's a disciplinarian. But I don't like the fact that they are painting this looking the other way. What did he say? He came out to say Osimhen is a world class. He said so. And he said, but the only problem we had was the conflict that happened when everyone was looking at Nigeria saying we are the best team to go. And he said something. He said, look, man, that altercation that they had destabilized Lookman because our game was slightly built around Iwobi, but majorly built around Lookman. And Ademola Lookman, who you know, his best friend is a YouTuber. He doesn't talk. Like, he's that quiet that you can be like, everything is wrong and you're not saying words. That's how Lookman looks. But Lookman looks, it sounds nice. You know, but Lookman and Osimhen's altercation happened at the time when the team needed themselves so much. The chemistry was broken. That Lookman came out to say, Osimhen is my brother, Osimhen is this, is that. They were just trying to be professional. If you watch the game, after that Mozambique game, just watch other games, you could see that Lookman on his own game, his game dropped down drastically. And aside Lookman, Onyemechi also against Morocco was trying to see, even Algeria, was trying to see that, yes, you must be Osimhen. So Osimhen got what he wanted. He wanted to be in the news. I'm not saying you shouldn't be hungry for goal. I'm not saying so. But I'm saying when the player does something wrong, we expect these bodies to take a drastic measure on this man. Take a measure that is very high. Implement something that even the young ones would not want to do. A record. It wasn't long. This same Osimhen had an issue with, Finidi George, a Nations Cup winner with Nigeria, national team record, a Champions League winner, not individual award I'm talking about now. Club level, Osimhen has won the Scudetto, African best, which again we define. But Osimhen is in the news. Now, when Osimhen did that, had that conversation with Ndidi, which went out on social media, was viral everywhere, I would have thought the NFF would have addressed that issue. Nobody said a word. Now, on this part, instead of them giving Olise a backing, they're coming to criticize him. And so, what's the name? Ifeanyi also came out to say Osimhen is a younger brother. I don't know. It's not. All these things are not. See, waiting not good. See, that's waiting not good. Not good. There's no way to do bad thing in a good way. It doesn't work. Nobody said a word. Victor Osimhen. If not one small, maybe if not, even Onyeka do everywhere for that scatter. Osimhen, let me even tell what he did so you understand, like a reminder, maybe an eye opener to you. He told the manager to change him. I don't want to play, substitute me. I want to be off. They got him off. When Super Eagles scored the 4th goal against Mozambique, he did not celebrate. Thirdly, he walked down the tunnel when the team was having a prayer and talks on the pitch. So this is a very big slap to Nigeria, to the national team. So discipline-wise, I think the game is discipline. I would have also believed that they would have addressed that issue, but they all the pattern. See, what's to go happen? National team, more did they look at. See, something worse will still happen, and then we'll see how they can manage it. Because if Olise is coming out to say, don't get me wrong, I might not be a son Olise fan in quotes by his talking sometimes, you know, but when he talk with him makes sense. When I give him a chance, when I help him make sense. So that it will make sense for people to know say they make sense. And that's how it works. But also, let's talk about this. The Champions League continues today. I think we should be running. A headline says, it's amazing. Ideye speaks on the success and the failure of the Super Eagles. And Ideye, I already know him, 2013 World Cup, 2013 AFCON winner with the Super Eagles. And also, it's amazing. I never watched him play. Never was born when he was playing. But like I already said, 21st century kids, we not get sure. And to go YouTube, go watch him. Most instance, so if we talk about him. Yes, he's one man also who have said a lot about the Super Eagles, but because of time frame, we need to leave that one and then talk about the Champions League. It's all about the Champions League phase, the final of its kind. When we return, we'll be telling you more, just a brief one, about the games coming up today, so you can understand that we'll be having big matches like Napoli, Chelsea. These are one of the games. Stay with us and get away. I'll be back. Just shortly. Yes, so welcome back from that quick break. It's time for us to delve into the very big games coming up today. We'll be telling you accordingly the Champions League you should be having on your screen so far, very soon. So a lot of games will be coming up. We have some games that we should be looking at, talking about basically. And if you look at this one, you would understand that all of those games are big games. There's no games on the Champions League radar talks. Atletico Club rather, we're playing as well. So all of the games at the same time. 9 p.m. Nigerian time. I cannot wait to see how it unfolds. Now, we've seen Ajax Amsterdam welcoming Olympiacos. If you look at the table, you'll see that some of those teams will just have to go. Arsenal, Mate, without players like Declan Rice and Merino on this very game. But with the likes of the Mate side who are away, I think it's a done one. They are already eliminated from this tournament. For Arsenal, they've got nothing to lose on this game. But looking at what they saw, the last game they played, at home at the Emirates, they would want to put smile on the faces of their home fans just to make it all right. But on paper, it's a work done for Arsenal, who have already qualified for the next phase in the Champions League. We'll be seeing Athletic Club playing against Sporting CP. Athletic Club, yes, well expected game on paper. Sporting looked like the smaller side, but they already hurt some teams like the Paris Saint-Germain side. So we have seen that game go either ways. Yes, either ways rather. The Athletic Bilbao is the club side. This Atletico Madrid are playing against Bodo Glimt. For Bodo Glimt coming out from the good result, the first time the Norwegian side have won a city side, they will be coming to bounce right to get it done against Atletico Madrid today. And Borussia Dortmund will be welcoming Inter Milan, and that's the game that I'll be looking out for. But the best club in the Italian Serie A right now happens to be Inter Milan, and they are good to go. Yes, also LC, Barcelona confronting Copenhagen, and it's a game that I'll be saying no Pedri. Barcelona wants to give a contract to that very man, Fermin Lopez, a long-term contract, and I can say they'll be winning this very one against Copenhagen of the Danish side. Benfica will be welcoming Real Madrid at the Premier League side, where we'll see Mourinho. He will be playing against his home side. Very fair to talk about Mourinho against Real Madrid tonight. And don't forget, Mourinho, since he emerged the manager of the Benfica side, he has not lost a game and he has a record that says 15 games, 0 losses. So it will be at the detriment of Mourinho if he loses to Real Madrid tonight. Club Brugge of Belgium will be welcoming Marseille, and don't forget we have our own very Nigerian international Rafael Onyedika on this one in that game. Frankfurt, Tottenham Hotspur, Leverkusen, Villarreal, Liverpool, Karabakh, Man City, Galatasaray, Monaco will be welcoming Juve. Napoli hosting Chelsea. Star match of the day. You'll be seeing Napoli, Antonio Conte playing against his former side Chelsea tonight, and that's like the biggest game I'll be seeing on the screen and possibly watching on my mobile. Paris Saint-Germain, Newcastle, who knows? We'll see Frankfurt, Slavia Prague, Paris will playing against Newcastle. Then PSV Eindhoven of the Dutch side welcoming Bayern Munich, who wants to give Hurricane a new contract, and then Union Saint-Gilloise will be welcoming Atalanta of the Italian side, Serie A, where we have Lookman, whose contract is still uncertain. But yes, up until then, it's time for us to call it a close. The producer is really doing well immensely, giving us the result, how we unfold. So this is the standing. Just let's leave you with this. This standing is nice. Round of 16 is in that color. We have the knockout phase playoff on the right. For elimination teams, you have on your screen. Karatamati, Villarreal, Liverpool. I'm sorry, there's nothing anyone can do about that. But yes, it's that time of the show that we need to call it a close. And then don't forget we have the media news coming up next right here, and that's for 12. And also the guys for the evening do well to join the team. The very big side, Jerry Apelua, will be here as well alongside the Ikechukwu Hafiz, hopefully, to give you the sporting news just as your phones. But you know, it will be a very big time. Do well to join them, the spacious time. Thank you so much for being part of the show. It is Voice of the People Television, and I like to say the Sports Public Show comes your way again tomorrow 11 a.m. Nigerian time. Peace.
Nambo ezigbo nwa afọ Nigeria ka ihe m ga-eme pụrụ iche
nwanne m nwoke
Adanne
m ga-akwụ chi n'eziokwu kwanyere ndị ọzọ ugo ma lekọta obodo anyị anya
gbam
ụmụnne m na ụmụnna m obodo anyị bụ Nigeria ga-aga n'iru ma ọ bụrụ na anyị jikọta aka kwado ndị na-achị anyị ka ha mee nke ha, anyị ga-emekwa nke anyị.
N'ezie ọganihu ga-adị ma ọ bụrụ na anyị na ndị na-achị anyị jikọta aka rụọ ọrụ.
Asaa bụ ihe ndị na-achị anyị kwekọtara ha ga-eme ka obodo wee dị mma.